Hello students, in this video lecture we are going to discuss about the subject information theory and coding, and the topics covered is properties of entropy. Properties of entropy. Consider a source S is equal to S1, S2, S3, SQ symbols with probabilities P equal to P1, P2, PQ probabilities, where Q is nothing but number of source symbols. Therefore, entropy of the source is given by H of S, which is equal to I is equal to 1 to Q Pi log 1 by Pi, or it is nothing but simply in terms of information I is equal to 1 to Q Pi II bits per message symbol. There are 5 properties of entropy. The first property is it is going to tell you that the entropy function is a continuous function. Second property, the entropy function is a symmetric function. Third property is an extremal property. Fourth property is property of additivity. Fifth property is source efficiency. We'll discuss one by one the properties of entropy. First property, the entropy function is a continuous function for every independent variable pk in the interval 0 to 1. That is, pk varies continuously from 0 to 1, so does the entropy. So if you try to see this plot here, when the probability value p is equal to 0, okay, you are going to get the entropy value H is equal to 0 here. So how did we get this? We know that H of S is given by the formula summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi log 1 by Pi. So when you substitute P is equal to 0 here, you are going to get H of S is equal to 0. Similarly, when your probability value is 1, we are going to get the entropy value as 0, and when probability value P is equal to half, the entropy of the given value H of S will be equal to 1. Therefore, entropy function is a continuous function for the probability interval from 0 to 1. Second property, the entropy function is a symmetrical function of its argument. That is, let us consider h of pk, comma 1 minus pk is nothing but h of 1 minus pk, comma pk. That is, for all values of k is equal to 1 to q, we can interchange the probabilities. Interchanging the probabilities, we are not going to get any changes in the entropy value. So H of S remains the same irrespective of the locations of probabilities. So we'll consider an example here where we have a source SA, SB, SC symbols, and let us consider the probabilities of first source to be P1, P2, P3. The second source going to have the probability P2, P3, P1, and the third source, that is SC, is going to have the probability P3, P1, P2. We'll take the numerical example here. As per the symmetric property, we should get H of SA should be equal to H of SB should be equal to H of SC. So we'll take an example where P1 is 0.6, P2 is 0.3, and P3 is 0.1. And similarly, we'll try to have the probabilities of next source B as 0.3, 0.1, 0.6, and the next source to be 0.1, 0.6, and 0.3. So when we try to calculate H of SA, that is entropy of the source A, we are going to get it as 1.295 bits. Similarly, the entropy of second source symbol will be the same, and the third source, that is SC source, will also be the same. So as per the symmetric property, if we have the probability values, when you are going to find the entropy of that particular source, we can interchange the probabilities, but the entropy value is not going to change at any time. So entropy function is symmetric function of its argument. let us consider the third property of entropy, which is extremal property. Let us consider the same source S with Q symbols. S is equal to S1, S2, SQ with probability values as P is equal to P1, P2 up till PQ. The entropy of S or the source is given by the formula H of S is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi log 2 1 by Pi, and also we know that the summation of all probabilities should be equal to 1. Therefore, summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi will be equal to 1. Let us now prove that entropy H of S has an upper bound by considering the quantity log Q minus H of S and lower bound of H of S equal to 0. So this particular property is basically going to tell about the upper and lower bound of a given entropy. We'll start with the upper bound, that is log Q minus H of S. So we'll try to multiply this log Q with 1, which is summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi, which is equal to 1 log Q minus summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi log 1 by Pi, which is H of S. Or we can substitute here by taking the common factor as summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi, which is a common term, into log Q minus 1 by Pi. Log A minus P is nothing but log A by B. Therefore, we'll substitute this equivalent, that is log A minus log B, as log A by B. Hence, we are going to get the equation as summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi log Q Pi, which is equal to, we'll try to convert it into natural log function. Therefore, we'll take the base as log E Q Pi for log Q Pi divided by log E2, that is to the base E. We'll try to take this log to the base E2 outside. So we are going to get log Q 2E summation I is equal to 1 to Q Pi ln Q Pi. Let this equation be equation number 1. To start with, we'll try to have two line equation. One is y is equal to x minus 1. The other one is the logarithmic curve, which is y is equal to ln x. So this line, straight line, is always above the logarithmic curve except the point x is equal to 1. So we'll get the line y is equal to x minus y lies always above the logarithmic curve except for x is equal to 1. Next, we'll conclude from this graph that always ln x is lesser than or equal to x minus 1. Let this equation be equation number 2. Now multiply both the sides of the equation with minus 1. So we are going to get minus ln x greater than or equal to 1 minus x. Since we are going to multiply it with negative symbols, this lesser than or equal to symbol in equation number 2 is converted to greater than or equal to symbol in the multiplication. So we'll get now minus ln x is nothing but ln 1 by x is greater than or equal to 1 minus x. Let this be equation number 3. Now let us assume that x is equal to 1 by q into pi. Then we can substitute that x value. So we are going to get ln q pi is greater than 1 minus q by pi. Let us take this equation as equation number 4. Next we'll multiply first both side by pi, and then we'll take the summation of all the values from I is equal to 1 to q. So we are going to get an equation summation I is equal to 1 to q pi ln q pi greater than or equal to summation I is equal to 1 to q pi into 1 minus 1 by q into pi. Let this be equation number 5. Yes, next we'll multiply both the sides of the equation by log 2e. So we get log 2e summation I is equal to 1 to q pi ln q pi greater than or equal to log 2e summation I is equal to 1 to q pi minus summation I is equal to 1 to q 1 to q 1 by q. So from this, if you see, the left hand side of the equation is nothing but equation number 1 as discussed. So we are going to get log q minus h of s on the left hand side, and the right hand side will be equal to 0. Therefore, log q minus h of s is always greater than or equal to 0. So this forms the upper bound of the entropy. Equality holds good when pi minus 1 by q equal to 0. So this is the condition where pi is equal to 1 by q for all values of 1, 2, 3 up till q, where q is the number of symbols. So when pi is equal to 1 by q, the entropy becomes maximum, and it is given by h of s max is equal to log 2 q. That is, entropy attains a maximum value when all the source symbols are equiprobable. So we are going to get a maximum value for q equiprobable symbols. We'll consider an example where S is given as S1, S2 and S3, and the respective probabilities are given as 1 by 2, 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. If you substitute in the entropy formula, we are going to get the entropy value as 1.5 bits per message symbol. This can be attaining maximum value when pi is equal to 1 by q. So in this particular given problem, the q value is nothing but total number of symbols, which is nothing but 3. Therefore, if you assume p1 is equal to p2 equal to p3 equal to 1 by 3, that is when all symbols are equiprobable, your h of s max is nothing but log q, and q is nothing but 3. So we are going to get h of s max as 1.585 bits per message symbol. So this particular property is going to give you the maximum value of the entropy of a given source when they are equiprobable. The fourth property of entropy is property of additivity. Suppose we split the symbols SQ into n symbols such that SQ is equal to SQ1, SQ2 up till SQn, occurring with the respective probabilities as PQ1, PQ2, PQn, such that the summation PQ is nothing but PQ1 plus PQ2 plus so on up till PQn, or we can write simply PQ is equal to summation j is equal to 1 to n PQj. That is, we are going to split the probability values. Then the entropy of the splitted symbol is given by h dash of s is equal to h of p1, p2 up till pq minus 1, pq1, pq2 up till pqn. So we can write this entropy value as I is equal to 1 to q minus 1 pi log 1 by pi plus j is equal to 1 to n splitted symbol probabilities, that is pqj log 1 by pqj. So if we try to rearrange the above equation, we'll get I is equal to 1 to q pi log 1 by pi minus pq log 1 by pq plus summation j is equal to 1 to n pqj log 1 by pqj. So we'll try to simplify this further. So we'll get equal to summation I is equal to 1 to q pi log 1 by pi minus j is equal to 1 to n. Now what we'll do is, since the summation of probability should be equal to 1, we are going to multiply this log 1 by p q with a factor summation j is equal to 1 to n pqj as described earlier. We know that it is given by this particular equation. We'll substitute here, plus j is equal to 1 to n pqj log 1 by pqj equal to I is equal to 1 to q pi log 1 by pi plus j is equal to 1 to n. We'll take this common term outside, that is summation j is equal to 1 to n pqj into log 1 by pqj minus log 1 by pq. So as log a minus b is log a by b, we'll substitute it here. So we are going to get the first term as it is. I is equal to 1 to q pi log 1 by pi plus pq is a common term which will take outside. J is equal to 1 to n 1 into pqj by pq log pq by pqj, which will be simplified as this pi log 1 by pi is nothing but h of s, and this term is nothing but additional value, that is positive quantity, since pqj is lesser than or equal to pq for all j value. Hence h dash of s, that is splitted symbol entropy value, will always be greater than or equal to h of s. We'll try to prove this particular property by solving an example in the later session. The last property of entropy is source efficiency, which is given by eta s is equal to h of s by h of s maximum. This particular factor is going to tell about the efficiency of the source. Next is source redundancy, that is R eta S, which is given by the formula R eta S minus 1 by eta S. That is, it is going to tell you the redundancy of the source. If you have 100% efficiency, then there will be no redundancy in your information source or your information system. Thank you.